Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. 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 Shri Ram श्री राम जय जय राम ओम 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 श्री राम जय 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 राम ओम श्री राम 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 जय जय राम ओम
Hari Om to everybody. Hari Om. What should be shared today?
Hari Om. Vivekachudamani khananaṃ. āptoktiṃ khananaṃ.
Right.
Swamiji shared that video, Swamiji.
Yes.
She wants that Satsang real home video.
Which video, Padmaji?
Unearthing the treasure. Unearthing the treasure. So how will you give this?
Yes.
How will they know?
Same shloka you showed in Papa said here.
What you do is, you come to this Google Meet, then you can share. Otherwise, I don't, 1 second, I will set up. I don't think I have. Khananaṃ, I don't have.
You must be having December, December program. We have shown this also.
Excavation and removal of stones and other things.
You are offline. What is the
Ramswamy Wi-Fi is that one. Ramswamy Wi-Fi. Ramswamy, it will come now.
What is this CTC?
That I don't know from which cities. I'm getting Ramaswamy. Ramaswamy is the name of the Wi-Fi.
Ramaswamy.
No, Swamiji. The name of the Wi-Fi is Ramaswamy.
What should I type out here?
First we should get to Ramaswamy, then only you can type Ashram 1931. Shraddha is, no, here Wi-Fi is not there. No. Swamiji wants Wi-Fi.
Some this Shraddha is playing, it will come. Yeah, she is sharing. It is coming, something. Everybody can see.
There Wi-Fi is.
Wi-Fi.
Wonderful.
Okay.
And other things lying about, and finally grasping,
Mic.
but never comes out by merely being called out by name.
Mic you keep here, sound.
All of you can see?
Yes, Swami.
Yes, Swamiji.
During the Sannyas centenary year of beloved Papa, a year-long in-depth study was undertaken on Papa's first book, In Quest of God, from 27th December 2021 to this year, 2022. Sadhakas should know that the purpose of the in-depth study of beloved Papa's In Quest of God is to experience the presence of the indwelling and all-pervading reality, Ram. Sadhakas should know that the purpose of the in-depth study of beloved Papa's IQG is to experience the presence of the indwelling and all-pervading reality, Ram. Only by delving deep into the text through regular and persistent efforts to contemplate, reflect, meditate on the theme contained therein. This can be achieved, and certainly not by merely reading the text at the superficial level. It jumps. While exploring the exceptional journey of you lost your network connection.
Of the self, the indwelling reality, which is
During the Sannyas centenary, we have already said. It won't stop. So this can be achieved, and certainly not by merely reading the text at the surface level. In Vivekachudamani, the sloka number 65 reminds us of this. While exploring the exceptional journey of beloved Papa, while exploring the exceptional journey of self-discovery, a profound shloka number 65 from Vivekachudamani offered us a unique understanding of in-depth study of In Quest of God. Param Pujya Adi Shankaracharya's Vivekachudamani is undoubtedly a masterpiece of Advaita philosophy and perhaps his most famous non-commentarial work that expounds Vedanta in all its glory and grandeur. āptoktiṃ khananaṃ tathopariśilādyutkarṣaṇaṃ svīkṛtiṃ nikṣepaḥ samkṣepate nahi bahiḥ śabdaistu nirgacchati tadvad brahma vidopodesha manana dhyanādibhirlabhyate māyākāryatirohitaṃ svamamalaṃ tattvaṃ na duryuktibhiḥ. Meaning, As a treasure hidden underground requires for its extraction competent instruction, excavation, removal of stones and such other things lying above it, and finally grasping it, but never comes out by merely being called out by name. Similarly, the transparent truth of the self, the indwelling reality, which is hidden by Maya and its effects, is to be attained through the instruction of a knower of Brahman, number one, followed by reflection, meditation, and so forth, but not through perverted arguments. To better understand the purport of this shloka, Puja Swami Chinmayananda ji used to narrate a story of two families who were living who were living in the same neighborhood. Two families were living in the same neighborhood. They were close to each other, distance-wise as well as emotionally. They used to join in each other's celebration in both houses. Children of one house often go and play in the other house. In fact, there was no sense of otherness among them. One day, unexpectedly, the head of a family passed away. The members of the other family rushed to help them during their grief-stricken moments. They tried to console the wife and children and assisted them in carrying out the last rites and all the rituals thereafter. On the 13th day, as the rituals got over, the eldest in the grieving family approached the head of the other family. Uncle, we were looking for the savings our father has made over the years, but couldn't find any. We are worried about how we are going to survive from now onwards. Uncle replied, oh, don't worry. Your dad has worked hard and made a good savings for your family, but there is a condition. You have to make an effort to get it and not to be satisfied by merely calling the treasure to come out. Go to the room in the right side of your house. There you would find among the floor tiles one rather loose tile unattached to the floor. Wait till it's midnight, preferably early morning, and the whole neighborhood is asleep. Gather all the necessary tools for excavation, go to the room, remove the loose tile, start digging down. Uncle added, there will be plenty of debris, don't throw them around, keep them on a side, make sure that there is no publicity for this whole exercises. It may take a few nights to finish digging. Never get dejected nor dispirited. Have faith in the words of your father. As you keep digging, one day you will hear the sound of your digging tool hitting it on a metallic thing. It would be a copper vessel. Don't damage it. Lift it up, remove the cover on the top side. You will find the treasure your father had saved. This will be enough to take care a few generations of you. Believing in his instruction, they went back to their house and did exactly how they were instructed. They never doubted his words. They were never complacent in following the instruction. Finally, they found the treasure at the end of a long and hard search. Now, what do we learn? This story is a fictionalized version of our spiritual journey. On a deeper reflection of the story, you may find 5 phases there. You lost your network connection. Wait, it might come back. It might come back. One is 5 phases. One is the struggle. Second is the quest. Third is the faith. 4 is the practice. And 5th is the self-discovery. Struggle, quest, faith, practice, self-discovery. First is struggle. In this story, the family that loses their head is facing serious setback in their life. Life is full of ups and downs, pleasure and pain, and success and failure. Often expectation is one thing, but reality is something else. Nobody's life is a bed of roses from the beginning to the end. A person becomes a seeker when he realizes that nothing is eternal in his life, and everything that he was holding dear is ephemeral. Now comes quest. When the heartbroken family came to know that they were in deep trouble and utterly helpless, they went to the person whom they deeply trusted and whose wisdom they unconditionally believed. When a seeker realizes that he needs guidance on the direction of his spiritual journey by divine providence, a guru, personal or impersonal, arrives to direct him towards the ultimate goal. The quest begins when we are humble enough to admit that where we are now is nowhere near where we need to reach. Faith. In this story, the grieving family had full faith in their advisor and faithfully followed his instruction. In life, finding one's guru is only a beginning, not an end in itself. One has to have unconditional faith in his wisdom and faithfully follow his instructions. It is worth remembering that what we see as a butterfly is the culmination of a transformative journey of a caterpillar. The smooth pebbles we see at the seashore started their journey as rough-edged rock pieces. Then comes practice. In this story, the grieving family has full faith in their advice. It's over now. Practice. Having received the instruction, the grieving family, without any doubt or trepidation, acts on his words in right earnest. Every aspirant has to keep this in mind. The guru is a guide to the destination, not the destination itself. Having found the guru is not enough. One has to practice his precepts unfailingly. Finding a signpost is important, but it is even more important to walk in the direction with faith, conviction, and commitment. And the final is self-discovery. If we decide to follow our Guru's message, we will have to dig deep into our inner resources. As we go deeper, we will find that the divine treasure we are searching is already within us. From the very beginning, we have been searching outside all over, like the musk deer in the Upanishad story, frantically searching for the divine aroma. Every drop in the ocean contains the traces of salinity. Every one of us contains the essence of divinity. In beloved Papa's words, be conscious always that God that you pray to is within you and everywhere about you. His protection and grace are there ever for you. Be always aware that He is guiding you from within. Go back. It is directly related to our spiritual journey. Every now and then we have to go through these words. Otherwise, what happens? What happened? Just now we know. This was many a times played. This was elaborately discussed, but we have forgotten. Because it was not followed by manana. So this particular shloka in vivekachudamani is very, very important. Every now and then we have to keep on reminding ourselves that unless we do the reflection, contemplation, digging deep within ourselves, moving from the surface level to a deeper level, we will not be able to. Papa's own words are, be highly reflective and contemplative. The more reflective you are, the nearer you approach the springs of your life. So under the banner of spirituality, now this is for serious spiritual aspirant. This is what our masters did. Papa could unearth not because of doing anything. That is why he said, ceaseless chanting of his name side by side with one-pointed reflection, meditation on the indwelling and all-pervading reality. So manana was simultaneously going in his case. So he could unearth. Same thing, he passed it on to Mataji. First, he prepared the ground for Mataji to go in. That is why she was able to give us explanation about the great void in simple, understandable language. Along with Ram Nam, she was continuously doing this manana. Think about it. So this is very important for all of us. From the surface level is the first attraction, no doubt about it. But when we are attracted, when we are touched and kindled through a form, through a reading, through somebody's telling, if we leave it like that, no. At that moment we get some joy, that's all. But if we do manana, what is manana? Again we should know. We are trying to take the theme within and trying to integrate it with our own life, so far lived. And we will find many of these things were there, about which we were not aware. So the moment we connect it to our own life, it stays there. Though every now and then some probing is necessary, but still you will get it. Because the manana has taken place. It is an individual effort. Nobody can help us in this. Again, we try to make it clear. We belong to a generation where total faith is something a distant one. We have faith, but at the same time we can't say total faith. So we need this manana. For those who have got implicit faith, They don't need anything. They will not be here for satsang. To them, they are fired, and they hold on to any path God has prompted them. We should not belittle. When we go through the life of Nandanar, an unlettered boy, serving a scholar who is well versed in all shastras, who knows all these theory. Nandanar, he was called Nandan. Nandan had no idea about any of these things, but he believed the words of the master. Master, during his discourse, used to say, Darshan of Lord Nataraja in Chidambaram will remove all the bondages from him. That was enough for him. Daily, morning and evening, his manana was to think about it, that's all. Round the clock, he was only thinking, when am I going to get the darshan? When am I going to get the darshan? When am I going to get the darshan? Nothing more, nothing less. And ultimately, when he got the darshan, he became one with him. We don't belong to that category. That is why we have to have this also along with it. We have been hearing the words of Papa. Have we placed our faith, total faith? Think about it. Every day we repeat, O Lord of the universe, O Creator, Protector, Destroyer of the world, I come in all humility to thy holy feet, surrender myself entirely to thee. Do we surrender? So that is why, we have faith, but not deep faith. So we have to simultaneously develop these things. And that is, Papa was also, one time we have said, he was almost like an atheist, or not atheist, he was against all these things. So he also needed manana. So along with the nama he was chanting, he was trying to go deep. So that is the line he has prescribed to us. That is why he has always been telling that our sadhana, nama japa yoga, is a combination of bhakti, jnana and karma. Mataji used to put it in a simple word. To remember him is bhakti. To dwell on him is jnana. To serve him is karma. To serve him through his creation. So the nama japa yajna which he prescribed contains these three. Tomorrow is Puja Mataji's 120th Jayanti. Just like yesterday, we should not leave the day just go like that. Any point in Mataji's life, we will try to go deep with it. What she has placed before us, so that we don't get stuck at the superficial level. We try to understand Mataji through the in-depth study. These things have been beautifully brought out by Mataji in an understandable way. Combination of bhakti, jnana and karma is she names it as the yoga, japa yoga. Japa yoga is a combination of bhakti, jnana and karma. Bhakti has an upper hand. Jnana too is important. You will all remember how Papa mentions this. Bhakti is the root, Vairagya is the trunk, Jnana is the flower, Parabhakti is the fruit. All have relevance. So by making us to dwell on these points, we are reminded that unless we do the manana, just now what we saw in the video, āptoktiṃ khananaṃ. Khananaṃ means mining, diving deep into it. Shankaracharya's vivekachudamani is a classic. The disciple goes and asks 7 questions. And in answering the 7 questions, the entire philosophy comes out. In that, this particular shloka comes out. The disciple asks 7 pertinent questions. What is this bondage? Where from I have come? Where am I going? What is liberation? There is one more. Kvanama bandho katameshāgataka katam pravishyasya katam kosavanatma. Who is this Atma? Who is the Anatma? So when he was dealing with one by one, this particular shloka came. So the emphasis on to go deep within, deep within, deep within. For people like us, we need a combination of bhakti, jnana and karma. Not bhakti alone, not jnana alone, not karma alone. A harmonious blend of these 3. Being spiritual children of Papa, we take the essence of all these and then try to combine so that we get a comprehensive knowledge. Not merely at the emotional level, not merely at the intellectual level, not merely at the body level. True, of all these, bhakti level is important. āptoktiṃ khananaṃ tathopariśilādyutkarṣaṇaṃ svīkṛtiṃ. Beautiful shloka. Nowadays, if you go to Google Baba, he will give you all this. You don't have to buy a book. All that you have to do is to make a note about this shloka. Source is vivekachudamani. Every now and then we have to go through this shloka. Then only we will be prompted to go deep down. Otherwise, as we have been doing, we will be still at the what you are seeing now again, the shloka, as a treasure behind underground requires competent instruction. āptoktiṃ means other. Then excavation, khananaṃ. tathopariśilādyutkarṣaṇaṃ. The stones and debris has to be removed. Then finally grasping it. But never comes out by being merely called out by name. Suppose I repeat what Mahatmas have said, it will not come by itself. So the transparent truth of the self, which is hidden by Maya and its effect, is to be attained through the instruction of a knower of Brahman, followed by reflection, meditation, and so forth, and not through perverted arguments. Sadhakas should know that the purpose of the in-depth study of beloved Papa's IQG is to experience the presence of the indwelling, all-pervading reality. We have to keep on hammering because we have forgotten, no? In-depth study should make us. It is not the narrative of a sadhaka or a realized soul. It is a manual for all of us. But I will treat it as a manual only when I do this manana. Because the purpose is to feel the presence of the indwelling and all-pervading reality Ram. Only by delving deep into the text through regular, persistent efforts to contemplate, to reflect, to meditate on the theme contained therein, this can be achieved, certainly not by merely reading the text at the surface level. The above shloka reminds us of this salient factor. All are clear? All are clear for the moment, at least. Yeah? Again, we forget. So, better thing is, such things, we remind, every now and then we try to go through this. He has provided everything for us, out of his bountiful love for us. He is providing everything to us. So we have to go through it again and again and again. And one incident through which we can go inside. Not that the entire book has to be gone through. One incident, that is enough. But from the surface level to a deeper level, we will try. Otherwise, it is a momentary, at that particular moment we feel elated, we get charged, but the moment we go out of the session, get discharged. We are back to square one. This is what Swamiji yesterday said, going home, real home. What we should do, that also we have to work out individually. Some broad guidelines gurus have given. Anything else? One statement we will read out. And let us try what is this excavation, what is this mind reflection, what is this contemplation. Everyone can try. First we will read out. Spiritual progress does not mean development only in one aspect of a human being. His emotional, intellectual, and dynamic nature should evolve simultaneously. It is rightly said, karma is the foundation, jnana the upper structure, and the dome at the top is bhakti. It is now that the temple of God is perfect. Sadhana done in a selfless spirit leads to the attainment of jnana. Bhakti, which is the essential quality of the heart, makes life gentle, loving, spontaneous. Jnana equalizes the vision. Bhakti feels compassion in the heart, which overflows in loving acts of service. When the world is realized as the expression of God, the life of the devotee becomes a dedicated offering to Him. He lives and moves in pure, unending bliss. This is a portion from Hints to Aspirant. Spiritual progress does not mean development only in one aspect of a human being. His emotional, intellectual, dynamic nature should evolve simultaneously. These two sentences, when we read, we are not trying to get the academic knowledge, we are trying to see from our own experience. We have to interpret, we have to give the meaning, emotional, intellectual, dynamic nature. Then only we will be able to understand. Otherwise, we are repeating somebody's word. Any incident that we take, we try to understand through a life incident in us, a life incident which we have gone through or we have witnessed. For example, again, when once we were traveling, our vehicle was overtaken by a motorbike, a rider. The speed with which he was going alarmed us. But after, say, probably 1 or 2 kilometers, we saw a motorbike. The same motorbike was parked on the side. We stopped the vehicle. Then the road was on the upper. Two sides there were downward incline. So we saw the same rider going and trying to bring another person, and then he was brought back. He was the person who was lying down. Then we understood that when the motorbike was going on, this particular person was fully drunk. He did not know the road, so he passed through and there was a head-on collision. He was thrown out. This rider immediately stopped the vehicle and saw the man lying down on this deeper incline. Somehow he was taken. At that time we stopped. And then immediately said this had happened. We could find that the man was not in his senses at all. So the only thing we can do is to take him to the hospital nearby. So then he was taken to the hospital. The doctor said he is in a critical condition. He has to be taken to the medical college, which is about 75 kilometers away from this place. And the motorcycle man said, doesn't matter, I will take him. He kindly arranged for me a taxi. He is a stranger. A taxi was arranged. Immediately he said, wait. We went and took everything from his motorbike, this thing, so that all those things were there. Then we asked him whether you need money. He said, I have got enough money. Then we said, your motorbike will be kept in such and such a place. He did not bother about anything, police case or something. His whole concern was to somehow save him. And then he took the vehicle, taxi. He went. Before he could reach, the man passed away. And then he was brought back. And he explained everything to the police. Somehow the search was conducted. And they were able to detect or locate this person's house. And information was sent. Now look at this. A emotional, intellectual, dynamic nature. He started immediately planning, what should be done, intellectual. At the same time, emotion was very much in his heart, compassion for him. And compassion and this knowledge alone, no. Can you hear me? You can hear? Yeah. And then he also did dynamic nature. So now when we read this, we are trying to understand the words through that experience. Because that experience we have witnessed, So we are not trying to understand it literally. And then we get a clear picture how this head and heart and the hand can move in unison with. And that is spirituality. Spiritual progress does not mean development only in one aspect of a human being. His emotional, intellectual, dynamic nature should evolve simultaneously. So when we are trying to go through Papa's words, we will be able to understand it through a little bit of digging, which God has already given us to watch. Probably we may not be able to put all these in. At that time, we were also prompted to join him, that's all. But now when we read this, to understand this, the indwelling reality prompts us. Did I not place you there to observe? This is what I said. So we get a clear-cut meaning. Now we understand, what is this manana. God has provided everything for us. All that we have to do is to do this little manana, and so that we immediately get what is to be connected. And then feel, in the daily life, how spirituality can enter into it and express itself. This is the perfect example. And in this process, God also saw to it that he was not inconvenienced. Everybody felt pity, including the police station. They did not say anything. And he came back when everything was over, when the body was handed over to him, then only he started his vehicle. He was on his way to Bangalore. He was going from Calicut to Bangalore via Wayanad. And he was a young man, but at the same time calm, collected. So there we found the combination of these three: head, heart, hand. Emotional, intellectual, dynamic nature. So when we read, God makes us to read. It is not that we are reading. And then God says, stop, pause. Go back to this incident. Understand the meaning. So that you will know more and more about applied spirituality. It is not a compartmentalized facet. What is applied spirituality? How does it get expressed in our daily life? So we get a clear-cut idea. The more we think about it, that person could have easily gone. Nobody would have seen, because it is an isolated place. He could have just gone. But he did stop. And did stop and knew one person suddenly crossing and he is not seen. This is what he told us. And so he stopped and looked. Then the person has been thrown. And he did not leave. He did not go to the nearest city to bring people. He himself went. And when he was brought, because of his genuine desire to help him, he made us to come, made us to stop. And he was taken. And at that time, the life principle was there. So we all thought he would survive. But he did not know any pain because he must have taken the drinks too much. He was absolutely unconscious. And the smell was there. Really it touched us, a stranger, taking so much pain for another stranger, and for no fault of his. So his emotional, intellectual, dynamic nature should evolve simultaneously when Papa says, it is not a theory, it is not a dictum, but it is something which practically is possible. And that is spiritual. At that time we did not know. So he says, when the world is realized as the expression of God, the life of the devotee becomes a dedicated offering to him. He lives and moves in pure, unending bliss. So this is what is called, according to us, there could be so many interpretations. According to us, this is manana. God has already provided everything to us. Not that we have to invent. We have to discover. It is there always. We have to connect up. That can be done only by reflecting and contemplating. And these three should go joined together, no? Otherwise it becomes one-sided. It's a theory, that's all. Or it's Papa used to say emotional ebullition, no? That is the word he used. After some time it gets evaporated. Tears will come, everything will come, then afterwards, it gets evaporated. It won't stay there. Actions are two types. One, you do it just for the sake, and the other one is a dedicated action. So we get a meaning from the direct experience which he already provided us to go through or witness. This can come only by reflection and contemplation. And the more we are, that's why, Papa said, the more we become contemplative and reflective, the more we move toward the source of our, springs of our life. Yeah, this is the word used. The springs of life. This person, he may not know to express it, but that root in him touched, and the root is there in the person who is affected also. That is why the compassion, the care, everything comes out. Only when the root is known. We may not know it, but we have experienced it. Love, compassion, selflessness, sacrifice, all these come only because the root is experienced. Same. The sameness. All these things come only because of reflection. So in that shloka, it is clearly mentioned. Reflection, contemplation. So Papa was able to scale it in 2 years' time because he was doing this. This manana was there prominent. And to keep the remembrance constant, he was chanting. One example we quote. So kindly think about it. No? You just open the book, any book of any saint, read a few lines. Need not go through the entire book. Read a few lines, put it in your pocket, contemplate. And that will lead you to a deeper dimension. Not at the surface level. When a petitioner came, and when she was standing before Mataji's room, and Puja Swamiji was going to Mataji's room, so she stopped Puja Swamiji and said, asked something, and then afterwards, Swamiji goes inside, and Mataji asks, why did you raise your voice? Suppose we don't do the manana, we will not be able to eke out the benefit out of it. The root, concern. It is not the dialogue that is important. We are trying, that is the superficial level. But the deeper level is, Mataji's identification with everybody was total. To her, there was no another. So the petitioner, when they came, from our vyavaharic standpoint, we may dispose. Either by giving, not by giving, giving something, we may dispose. But Mataji is more concerned about our eagerness to know her and trying to do something. We may not be able to help, but if the other party knows our eagerness, that itself is sufficient. Because of paucity of funds or facilities, we may not be able to help. So here, only through that manana, we will be able to understand. Otherwise, we are just looking at a person called Mataji and we appreciate and then go. That will not help. It is a person to person. No? When a person does something good, we appreciate, we congratulate, and we become grateful. That's all. But the spiritual dimension behind is something more deeper. When we try to analyze that, Mataji's concern was only because she was identifying herself with the entire creation. To her, there was no otherness. That is why that came out in the form of the dialogue. And again we get clarity when Puja Swami, this was narrated to us by Puja Swamiji only, otherwise how will we know? So Puja Swamiji said, she was repeating the same thing. Then Mataji says, they are repeating the same thing because of their emergent nature. So now you have solved the ashram problem. What about her problem? Because on some occasion, something had happened. That is why Swamiji will not say, we should do this, we should do that. He will just quote an incident so that it gets stamped in our heart. We have shared many times, even after coming here, when every day morning all these sadhus, everybody come to Swamiji's room. Our Damodaran will bring them, and each one will ask something. So immediately we go inside and give them. We go inside and give them. On that particular day, the numbers were more, so they were in rags, no doubt. So dhoti, kari, kavyamundu, everything was given, and then almost everybody has gone. One person came. We felt he should be given. When we rushed up to the store, we did not find any dhoti. So she felt bad. Immediately Swamiji was going to the toilet. He looked at us and said, "Dhotis are brought by Papa. He sends the people. He sees to it that it is completely sold out. What can we do? Within the parameters, whatever is possible, we try to do. We can ask him to go later and give him. Immediate. We remember that incident, What can we do? We are not telling. At the same time, by that one word, immediately, not that we are helping. Papa is bringing in the form, Papa is there in the form of, Papa means God is there, coming there in the form of dhoti. He is coming there in the form of the sadhus, and he takes the stock, and one fine morning the stock gets depleted, and again he sends people, and then to test whether how do we handle the situation. So everywhere, instead of seeing the situation, we must dive deep and see that the role of God in this dimension. Of course, later we were able to get dhoti and give to them. But that particular word, we are not doing, we are not distributing. Just now, before coming to this satsang, one quotation, Atmano mokshartam jagat hitaya. So whatever thoughts, words and deeds that emanate in our body, from our mind, we should see that it is beneficial to others. Jagat hitaya. It should be beneficial to others. But at the same time, we have to ensure that it should help in our spiritual journey. How will we know? How will we try to ensure that? Immediately we should know that field is provided by him, the prompting is given by him. So that the me and mine has no role. That will give a push to our spiritual journey. So when we read that mantra, Brihadaranya Upanishad, Atmano mokshartam jagat hitaya. Both should go simultaneously. Our activities, our thoughts, our words should be beneficial to others. At the same time, it should give a push to our spiritual journey. From outside, people may say so many things, but will it help me in my spiritual journey? If I see them as an individual, if I see them as a dealing, it will not. But if I try to bring that God has provided the field, I did not mobilize the sadhus, I did not produce the mundu. God prompted somebody to donate mundu. God prompted somebody to weave in the mundu. And God prompted a group of his forms in the form of sadhus to come. And God prompts us from inside to distribute this. Then you will see, the joy in it. What all we have done. So this should go hand in hand.
Swamiji,
Ah,
Hari Om, Swamiji.
Hari Om.
Then we don't take the onus of anything.
Correct. It is easy to say that. Unless we dig deep into this aspect like this,
Yeah.
he has provided the field, he gives us the prompting. Then then only the ownership will not come.
That's all.
And it will not come then. During our past moment, we have to keep on bringing this dimension. You have been providing right from my seed level up to this stage. You have been providing. I forget always. Kindly make me to remember. In spite of reading, in spite of thinking about it, I still forget. I feel I am doing it. I am thinking. I am talking. Kindly enable. So we keep on praying like this, whenever it is possible. It may not be possible throughout my waking state. But God will see to it that He gives me some pause moments to connect myself with Him. This is my connecting with Him. These are all applied spirituality. So today's topic is we have to go deep down. Huh?
I was just thinking about that. I was just thinking about the application because Mananam, we are digging, Khananaṃ is there, Mananam is there, and then comes the application, and you spoke about it.
Correct. It should be an applied. Otherwise, it is a theory. Nobody wants theory. Theory will be at the superficial level.
Swamiji, for Papa it was applied. For Papa it was all applied, completely applied.
So we have to keep on bringing this dimension. And now suppose even if we fail, we try to bring whatever that we have gone through and try to connect up. So this habit of connecting up, which we have not done so far, probably it might help us to connect in future also. We don't have to tom-tom. It must be an internal process. Absolutely an internal process. Good topic. More of it we will try to do some tomorrow. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram. Jai Jai Ram. Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram. Jai Jai Ram. Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram. Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram.